Hello everyone, my name is Quant and welcome to my aftermatch video. This is just a short video, me talking about a little stuff about the actual match that I just played, this time Olaf. It's basically just me talking about how I could have done better, how they could have done better, and just a summary of the game itself, a little thought process I had during this game and everything, just sums it all up. So without further ado, let's get to it. I believe that Trinidad did a little bad choice. He got no lifesteal whatsoever. He could kill fast, but he couldn't survive for shit. He only relied on his 5-second ult. Sure, that is enough for him to get some kills, but if he had his lifesteal item, he would do so much better. I believe he would get a lifesteal item. Like, even against the lane, in the lane, he should get a lifesteal item, because the only thing that really kept him ahead of me, could keep him ahead of me, I should say, is the fact that a Trinidad can out-sustain an Olaf. But he didn't do that. So it turned out to be a great game for me. So in this match I went straight up for the Ravenous Hydra to deal loads of damage AoE wise to activate. I would get a Blade of Ruin King if they were slightly tankier, but as you can see, none of their in their team is tanky whatsoever. None of them stacked HP except Evelyn, and that was very much towards the end. She didn't really get to stack up many HP items whatsoever anyways, so I think the Ravenous Hydra is more to just be able to clear out the creeps. The activate is way better than Blade of Ruin King against this kind of team, I believe. Mainly because it's got such a short cooldown. You can actually use it like twice in a team fight if it's a long team fight. Straight from there, I I rushed toward the Sunfire Cape, mainly because they had Trinime, and I know he's kinda dangerous towards the late stage of the game, even if he got a bad start. And they had Twitch, which had like a 4-1, I believe, when I started building the Sunfire, and I wanted to get quite tanky anyways, because I would go deep with this team. It was me and Udyr that could really run deep, and Udyr didn't really get that tanky. He went to Trin Force together with Weezand. It's really like damage items. He even towards the end built a pickaxe, so he didn't really focus going tanky whatsoever. So I had to be able to get quite tanky and lead the charge. And Sunfire was an item that I felt like, okay, I can do with. After that, I went for the Trin Force, mainly because I think that it could work on Olaf, and I think it actually kind of does. He gains quite much on the extra attack damage. He gains quite a bit of the extra attack speed. You should not stack attack speed, since his passive NW will get you maxed anyways quite easily, so don't stack too much attack speed. If you get like 2 or 3 attack speed items, I think you're overmaxed and doesn't use your passive's potential to its fullest. The critical strike chance is also quite good with Olaf. It's not really like super good, but it's something, definitely. It's nothing bad because you're pretty much an auto attacker anyways, so it's really good. And the movement speed is lovely to have, to just keep at them. Really good thing to have. The 30 ability power though, I don't gain anything from. That's pretty much the only thing that I gained nothing from. The 250 HP is also quite nice. Not that much for actual the cost of the item, but it's a nice bonus to have. 250 HP is never wrong. The extra 200 mana is quite useless on Olaf. It can be quite good, but in the end you don't run out of mana that easily with Olaf. His W costs pretty much no mana. His ultimate, I believe, costs no mana, and his E, the Reckless Wing, costs no mana. It costs HP. So it's only your Q that really costs a decent amount of mana, but you don't spam it that much, and it doesn't cost that much mana, not towards the end of the stage of the game at least. I don't think you should start off with a Twin Force and Olaf anyway, so you don't really get the early stage mana. It's more for late game. And I think it really works because the Twin Force has been buffed, and that's the kind of thing that I really like about it together with Olaf. The unique passive there from the Phage, now called Rage, to get the extra movement speed every time you attack something really helps you stick to the target. Together with the 8% movement speed from the Trinity, together with the boot of swiftness, together with the ghost or your ultimate, you can really stick to them really easily, and that's really, really good to have. And like I said in the actual game, the Spellblade there to get the proc of Sheen, or well, Spellblade. The proc is called Spellblade. After using an ability, your next attack deals 200 extra base damage. It's actually quite good to have, and I think Olaf really utilized that quite well, mainly because your Reckless Swing got really short cooldown when you spam it together with auto attack, so you kind of use it a lot because you got quite a bit of auto attacks, and you reduce your Reckless Swing's cooldown by 1 second for each auto attack. So you can use the Reckless Swing quite often, so you get the Sheen Pro quite often. Same thing with the axe, it's got a quite decent cooldown when you pick it up. So if you throw the axe and pick up the axe, you can pretty much throw it again. So you can use the Sheen procs, well, Spellblade proc, quite often as well. So like I really like Twin Force on Olaf, but I wouldn't recommend building it unless you can. This team we just plowed through them, but if you really just run up to them and die, there is no use to get Twin Force. There is no use to go damage if you can't reach them. So if you have a big problem to reach them, just get a Warmogs, or maybe if they are mages, get a Spirit Visage or something like that. Spirit Visage works great together with his W. So really consider getting that. I actually did consider getting that, but Diana and Evelyn had like no damage. Evelyn was the only one that started going tanky towards the end, and Diana didn't go for damage item whatsoever. He didn't do much damage. It was definitely Triname and Twitch that did the most amount of damage. So I never felt the need to stack any magic resist, and I didn't really feel the need to stack armor as well. So after that, I was just thinking of getting the Warmogs and the Atmas Impaler, but I ended up aiming for the Frozen Mallet. It's nice to have the slow. It's not really super needed with Olaf, because Olaf got a bit of swiftness together with the Trinity Force, together with the Rage proc on Trinity Force, and I had Ghost as my summoner, and I got my ultimate, so I get immune to CC, so I can stick to targets quite easily. But if they flash away, I need to get to them as well and start healing them again, and it's not always that I hit them with my Q and undertow. So getting the Frozen Mallet is cool there, and actually also the 30 extra damage on the Frozen Mallet compared to, I mean, I get 30 extra damage compared to Warmogs, but I lose 300 HP. For me, the 30 extra damage and the slow on an attack was more worth it than the 300 HP together with the HP region. The HP region was really not that worth it. It's good on Olaf, but against this kind of team, HP region was not really what I needed. And getting the Atmas towards the end, just get the extra attack damage, get the crits strike to stack up with the Twin Force to just help out, and armor as well, and they were mostly 80, so it would be nice to have that. So that's it for this video. Olaf is new kit is really awesome. I really like it. You can build pretty much however you want with him now. It's not a straight up tank with that mass. You can actually do more, and you actually don't benefit that much from going super tank anymore, because if you go full tank, you got pretty much no damage output compared to before. Mainly because his Reckless Swing scales on 80 now, and it doesn't deal as much base damage as before. So for Reckless Swing to start doing some damage, you want to get some 80, and his W doesn't give him any extra attack damage anymore, so you don't get damage from stacking loads of HP anymore, so you actually need to get some damage items. So I actually feel like he's more of a bruiser now than the old school tank and Atmas. I like this kind of idea better. It fits Olaf way more. We're gonna take a quick look at the graphs here. Of course, Brand and Ezreal did the most damage, because Brand of his AoE damage and Ezreal with his pokes. I'm actually quite surprised that I was so close to Israel in terms of damage, just because I kinda mainly focused on pushing. I didn't really join all the fights at all, and yeah, I don't really have that much poke. I had the undertow, but all the poke of the undertow I did was maybe like 1,000 damage maximum. Poke wise, I did use some undertow engage wise, but just poke wise, I don't think it was that much. And damage taken, you can see right here, Odir is the one that led the charge of our team, mainly because he joined more team fights than I did, and he just straight up fought against Triname in a straight up one-on-one, and that made him lose so much HP. I took almost the same amount of damage as Odir. It's only a 1000 difference, not that much. Of course, Triname is the one that took most damage in the enemy team because he has charge in and uses ult, he doesn't really care. And then Evelyn was the other main tank, and she started going quite tanky. So that's actually quite a good choice. And here's the thing, I don't feel like Nidalee do enough damage to actually compensate for having no CC whatsoever, and I don't think her healing is good enough either. She healed for a total of 4.5 thousand. Deer actually healed for 6,000. I have no idea where he gained that from. Oh yeah, maybe the turtle stun. No, the turtle stuns give 5 skill. I have no idea what he got that from. But you can see Triname, he didn't heal that much with his heal. And he still healed almost twice as much as Nidalee. I don't feel like Nidalee, her damage is too low to compensate for no crowd controls, and her heal is not enough. I mean, go Alistair. Sure, Alistair's heal is also quite bad, but he got stuns and knockbacks, he can engage really well, and his healing overall gives more. Because it's an AoE and you can spam it way more. So that's that. I really like this kid with Olaf. And I might be coming up with another video to show you some variations and not just one video go like, okay, he's OP, because I feel he's strong, but I can't really say he's OP. He's strong and he's fun to play, and it works better towards his name that he is the Berserker. But there are still some ways to counter him, I believe. So with that, I'm gonna leave you with that. Hopefully you liked this video, and if you liked it, please subscribe, share, leave a comment, like it, wherever. It would make me very, very happy. And I will see you guys next time.